It's late and your phone is still in your hand. You already checked it, but you unlock it anyway. Like your thumb is ahead of your brain, you check again. Nothing new shows up, and you feel a small drop. Then you think, I should do a detox. No scrolling, no sugar, no fun, just willpower. Somehow that becomes 2 days of white knuckling. Then a rebound night that feels worse than the original problem. Here's the part most people miss. The quick hit isn't trying to ruin your life. It's trying to make the next 30 seconds feel easier. And that's why a big detox plan usually doesn't hold. So, here's what's actually happening in plain terms. When you're bored, stressed, or stuck, your mind reaches for fast stimulation. It works like a quick reset. It changes your state fast, then the effect fades and the baseline feels flatter. Once that loop is running, normal tasks start to feel heavier. Not because you became broken. Your day starts getting measured by intensity. If something isn't loud, fast, or new, it registers as not worth starting. Most people fight this at the wrong level. They fight the urge itself, but the urge is just the signal. The real leverage is what happens in the first 5 seconds after the signal. That's where the loop can break. So keep it simple and concrete. 3 steps, used in the moment, not as a lifestyle. Step 1, name the pull. Step 2, add friction. Step 3, trade the hit. Step 1 is small, but it matters. When your hand moves toward the phone, quietly label it. This is a pull. Not, I'm weak. Not, I'm addicted. Just, this is a pull. Because the label changes what happens next. It turns a blur into a choice point and gives you half a second. That half second is where the day changes. It's small, but it creates space for a different move. Step 2 is where most change actually comes from. Add friction to the one behavior that hijacks your day. Not everything. Not pleasure in general. Just the frictionless access that makes the loop automatic. The phone is a slot machine in your pocket. You can pull the lever 200 times a day. So the friction needs to be physical and immediate. Face down, across the room, not in your hand. Step 3 is the replacement, but not a big replacement. Not a new hobby or a perfect routine. Pick a tiny, slow win you can finish in 2 to 5 minutes. A short email, a few dishes, a shower, or a page of reading. The point is something finishable, not something impressive or intense. This is where people get confused. They think the replacement has to match the intensity of the hit. It doesn't. It just has to be finishable. So your brain gets a clean ending instead of another loop. Now, the first mechanism that keeps the loop alive is simple. Feeling better fast gets confused with fixing the problem. You feel a little relief after the scroll, so the mind stamps it as solution, even if nothing changed. You can see it in the moment, right after. The task is still there, and the email is still unsent. The awkward conversation is still waiting. But the body got a quick release, so the brain tries it again. The second mechanism is the environment doing the choosing. Tiny urges become automatic actions when the path is too smooth. Phone on the pillow, snacks on the counter, tabs open all day. You don't decide, you drift. It's like having too many open tabs. Even when you're doing nothing, the background load is there. So the mind keeps searching for a simpler feeling. And the simplest feeling is whatever is one tap away. The third mechanism is treating boredom like an emergency. You're in line, waiting for the microwave, in the elevator. There's a small blank space, and the hand reaches because silence feels like something is wrong. That's the volume knob problem. The knob keeps creeping up, and soon normal life sounds quiet. Quiet starts to feel like I can't stand this, even when nothing is actually happening. The fourth mechanism is avoidance that wears a disguise. Some tasks aren't hard because of the work. They're hard because of the feeling at the start. The tight pause before opening the email, the mild dread before a workout, or the weird resistance before making a call. The discomfort is small, but it's enough to trigger the shortcut. So you swap the task for something that feels productive. You research, organize, or clear notifications. It has movement, novelty, and feels clean, but it's still a sticky shortcut button, avoiding the first awkward minute. Now bring in someone real. Call her Maya. Maya works from home, and her phone sits next to her laptop. She tells herself it's there, just in case. At 10 in the morning, she opens a document. The cursor blinks, and she feels pressure behind the eyes. Like a mental yawn, and without thinking, she reaches for the phone. The loop begins before she notices it. Nothing interesting is there, but the switch happened, and now the document feels even flatter. So she goes back to the phone again, chasing a second hit to undo the first drop. At lunch, Maya decides she needs a hard reset. No phone for the rest of the day, no sugar, no anything. She gets through 2 hours by sheer force. Then the first stressful message lands, and the rule collapses. That's why the extreme detox idea backfires. It treats stimulation like the enemy and turns your day into battle. A constant yes or no fight. When the battle slips once, it often slips all the way. So instead, notice what actually works in real life. Not a cleanse, not a vow, small changes to defaults, repeated. And a replacement that ends with a finish. Something you can complete so your brain gets closure instead of craving is less than #0. 8 is greater than. Here are the 3 cognitive micro tools. They are small on purpose and fit into moments you're already in. They don't require a new personality. They just change what happens right after the signal appears. Micro tool 1 is called the pull label. When the urge rises, say pull. Then put the phone face down. Then take 10 slow breaths, letting the moment widen instead of tightening. Nothing dramatic. You're just letting the wave pass without feeding it, and you'll notice it doesn't stay full volume. It peaks, then softens, even if the problem is still there. The urge changes when you stop treating it like truth. Micro tool 2 is called the room shift. When you feel the bored itch, stand up immediately. Walk to a different room before you choose anything. Even a short hallway counts. This breaks the automatic chain. If you stay seated, the body repeats the same shortcut without thinking. Standing up forces a new decision. And new decisions are where friction lives. Micro tool 3 is called the 5-minute start. When you catch yourself negotiating, set a 5-minute timer. Do the smallest version of the task until it rings. Then stop on purpose, even if you could keep going. This matters because the start is the real barrier. Once you're in motion, the task often becomes ordinary. 5 minutes is not a productivity plan. It's an entry ramp that gets you over the first edge. Now, 3 common mistakes tend to keep people stuck. They look reasonable, but they keep the loop alive. The first is trying to quit everything at once. Phone, food, shows, games, all of it. That turns your whole day into deprivation. And deprivation has a rebound built into it. The second is removing fun instead of removing frictionless access. Enjoyment isn't the problem. The problem is the one behavior that happens without a decision every time you feel a tiny drop in mood. The third is waiting to feel motivated before starting. Motivation is unreliable in the exact moments you need it. The moment you need it is usually when you feel dull, tense, or unsure. That's when the slot machine looks reasonable. So make it more real with Maya again. She doesn't ban her phone. She adds friction to the default. She charges it in the kitchen, not at her desk. During work blocks, it stays face down and out of reach. If she wants it, she has to stand up and walk for it. That tiny cost changes the pattern. The first day, she still gets the pulls. The label still happens. Pull. 10 breaths. Then, she uses the room shift once or twice, just to break the seated trance and reset the chain. And when she's actually stuck, she uses the 5-minute start. 5 minutes on the document, not the whole project, not the whole day. Just a start that can end, so her brain learns completion instead of escape. Notice what changed. She didn't become a different person, and she didn't win a moral battle. She changed the first 5 seconds after the signal. That's where the leverage always was. Now, if you slip, keep it clean. Slipping is information, and it tells you what your real trigger was. Maybe it started with an awkward email. Maybe it started with hunger and low energy. Maybe it started with that blank gap between tasks. The trigger is usually ordinary and specific. When you see the trigger, you add one friction step for tomorrow. 1. Not a new system. Not a dramatic rule. Just a small adjustment that makes the easy doorway slightly less automatic. In the final stretch of this, the goal is not to live in silence. The goal is to stop measuring your day by intensity. To stop turning every small discomfort into an emergency. To let normal life feel normal again. The pull will still show up. That's normal. But the pull doesn't have to become the action. And the action doesn't have to become the day. Name the pull when it appears. Add friction to the easiest doorway. Trade the hit for a finishable slow win.